All right, guys. This is Lane for the interviewer for this interview. I just want to tell you a quick disclaimer that this is brought in promotion for the Soul Reps, the Colored Museum, coming out in a couple of weeks now. Probably next week is going to be a starring date, and I just want to tell you quickly information about it before I begin the interview. August 5th through 7th and August 12th through 14th is when they're showing the play to the general public, and they will be mostly at the times 3 o'clock p.m. to or 8 o'clock p.m. on both all of these Showtime dates. It's written by George C. Wolfe and it's directed by D. Smith and Renee Jones. And yeah, I just want to give this quick disclaimer out to you guys, just to give you alert for this. And the price of admission is $20 to get in. So guys, hopefully just enjoy this interview. And that's a quick disclaimer for this. All right, hello. My name is Lane Ford. I'm with the Dallas Weekly, and I'm here with Gina. Miss Gina today.
It's Guinea.
Guina.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Today, for talking about the Color Museum, the production for the Color Museum, and so we're going to interview today. Miss Gina, Miss Guina, what captured your particular attention to this play? What inspired you to do this play?
Okay, that's a good one. Well, I saw this play for the first time when I was a student at Booker T. Washington. One of our teachers, Nedra James, was in it. And so they were doing it at Theater 3, and I went and saw it. And it really, I believe, was a turning point for me as a theater person. When I saw that play with this minimal set and minimal props, and these actors just tell all these amazing stories and take us to all these different worlds with just basically a blank stage and a few props, I understood the power of theater and how it could really make you think, make you laugh, make you cry, all in one play, all in one monologue. I thought, wow. I thought if I ever get to be in this play or direct this play, I want it. So when I got to college, sophomore, junior year sometime, we did Color Museum. So of course I went to the audition and I was cast. And I got to be Permutations, the girl who sits on the egg, and I got to be Miss Pat, I think. I did a few roles in there. But the egg, the Permutations monologue changed my life. I've never gone back after that. I found a new thing inside of me as an actor. It really pushes you, the language. You have to think on so many levels. You have to understand it historically. And I've been collecting eggs ever since. So when we found the Soul Rep in '96, we knew that Color Museum was on the list of must-do plays and that I wanted to direct and be a part of. So we ended up doing it again with Soul Rep in the '90s, and I was in it again, and it's a part of me. And so I feel like bringing Soul Rep back is our obligation in its 30-year history. You know, this is the 30th anniversary of this play.
Yes,
That it was our responsibility to make sure that people had another opportunity to see it and see that it's still fresh 30 years later.
yes,
That is why.
yeah. The Color Museum, what I've seen / read, is a play that explores many different themes and many different subjects. How have you implemented that into your version of it? Have you changed it, or have you just kept it the same? And how did you do it?
We haven't changed the words.
Mm.
We haven't changed the intent. But it is a fresh approach to it. Because, like I said, 30 years later, all of these different themes and ideas that George C. Wolfe wanted to explore are still relevant, sadly, on some levels. They're happening on our news every day. So our approach is a nod to the traditional with a look at how it's still relevant today. And I really hope that comes across. I think it's in the language. I think it's in the way it's being directed and in the performances.
So you also implemented new social changes, like for example, the new police murders and the black murders. You implemented some of those themes and socially conscious.
They're there.
Wow.
They're already there. In the Mama on the Couch play, Mama's son is shot right in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I really see how that's going to resonate. Now, I believe that the directors, and I'm not directing this, I believe that the directors are making sure that those points stand and that the audience has a chance to recognize it. Oh, yes, this is happening right now. You know,
Yes.
Miss Raj, the drag queen character in the play, discusses the nightclub being shot up 30 years ago. George C. Wolfe had no idea. This just happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just keeps going. There's issue of molestation is in there with Permutations. This is hot button stuff. This is going on. We're hearing it on the news every other week, every other day. These people taking advantage of children and how these kids process it. In this play, we get a chance to see that this kid has no understanding of what's happened to her and has created this imaginary illusion of what's going to happen when these when his baby comes and it's just so off, but she's a kid and they don't know how to put that in perspective, you know? So it deals with just all these things. And so we didn't have to be like, look, here's how it is today. It's already there. And all we have to do is bring it and make sure that we highlight those moments and let them resonate.
Yes, ma'am. What do you hope for a younger audience, especially like myself, to gain? Like, if I went to go see this play, what would I get from it? Like, what exactly?
I hope, my hope, when I saw it, but even more today, is that we're so desensitized and we're so, or traumatized by what we're seeing that it's hard to see the satire in it.
Yeah.
It's hard to see the weird ironies that are there. And I think this play allows you to see it like that. See how ridiculous it is and not laugh at it, but definitely see the ironies, you know, and you guys, you know, are just now getting an opportunity to feel the racism in America, like for yourselves. Just a few years ago, your generation was like, everything's good, you know, hey, I got white friends, we all. But now you see that it's still so alive, right? And this play gives you historical context for that. It gives you a way to look at it that's not going to necessarily depress you and might actually have you laughing about it at first until it turns and makes you think about it. We need you guys thinking. So my hope is that it sparks some things in you. It lets you see how to manipulate satire. There's so much going on right now to be satirized. So I hope that you guys can go and write your own satire or seek out that kind of work to help put things in perspective, because that's what it gives. It gives perspective.
Yes, ma'am. Have you always wanted to do an interpretation of it, or did it just come naturally?
An interpretation of the play? Have I always wanted to do an interpretation?
Like, did you just want to do it direct adaptation, or did you want to put your own spin on it?
Oh, definitely. Everything Sober does, we put our own spin on it. Okay? It's always going to, you know, walk the edge of what maybe even the Black community finds comfortable. Sometimes these plays are a little bit like medicine for its audience, in that it might not taste good going in, but it's good for you. You know, and I want the audience to walk out understanding that, yes, I experienced some difficult moments in there. I laughed a little, I cried a little, but I'm better for it. It's like a dose of medicine, you know. We always like to say, you know, soul rep is like food for the soul, like food for your intellect, something good for you to take in. And I just wish it was something that, you know, everybody was clamoring to come and see. I wish the audiences were running to us to have these experiences, but we have to build that again. We have to make sure that everybody knows that this work is available, and we'll just take a chance. Those who are not theater goers, see one play and see if it doesn't change you. See this play and see if it could possibly change you. I just want to challenge people to try it, you know. I think a lot of times people don't come because they're not used to coming to plays, you know. But try Soul Rep, and it could change your whole idea about what you think theater is, or what you've had experienced before, and perhaps with some other plays. You're going to be moved. You're going to have that catharsis that theater is supposed to create. And this summer 2016, we could all use a little catharsis. So come get that. You know, I hope people will come get that.
Yes, ma'am. And overall, speaking from perspective past the younger audience, what do you think the entire general audience will gain from this play, and how do you think they will take it, and what do you think it will do with them? Like, how could it affect their lives?
Okay, in this climate that we're in, where it's hard to talk about race with people of different races, I hope it opens up a conversation where we can sit there and be like, okay, this is why this stereotype exists. It's rooted in something that is apart from us, but it has become true in these ways, and here's how it's perpetuated. And we can have an honest dialogue about it with people of all races, you know, because that is really a part of why we created Soul Rep. We are dedicated to Black theater. We love Black theater. We want to protect it, and we wanted to inspire people of all races. Everyone has a soul. Right?
Yes.
So Soul Rep is not, it's Black theater, but it's not just for Black people. It's to open up some conversation for everybody, to sit down and say, you know what, I never knew that that's where that came from, or that's why, or now I understand better, or I'm perfectly happy to answer any question about how I feel about racial issues or about the stereotypes and archetypes that have, perpetuated our culture all these years. I would answer those questions to anybody of any race, and hope that they can accept my honest opinion, and I want to hear their honest opinion. And I think this play creates that room, and we need it so bad because it's just not an easy thing to do.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Guys,
Lane.
go
Good
see
job.
the Color Museum when it comes out.
Yes.
Play in Dallas. This is Miss Guinea.
Yes.
And I am Lane Ford with the Dallas Weekly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.